Lot to talk about. Opening day happened since the
Ian's
last
hot.
time.
Ian's hot.
A good couple days. Got squared up in the kneecap. Duffy for me.
And you started a brawl.
I heard from sources within the clubhouse you told Keegan to hit McCutcheon.
Stop.
And you said-
Don't
and you
even
said-
put that out there. That is
You said
so
that
false.
you would pay his fine and game check suspension. So
That is so false. Everything that I've said and will continue to say is that the scouting reports from the Brewers for a number of our guys for the past few years have been heaters in, soft away. And so guys have been getting plunked. I don't think it's malicious, but I think if you're going to throw in there, you got to be able to command it.
don't tell it to Dakota. He disagrees.
No, I don't disagree, but I disagree with the statement of like, if you throw in there, you better command it or don't go inside. It's like, oh, like don't go inside. Okay, you want fastballs right over the heart of the plate? Let's do that. Like, I get what you're saying. It's a lot of times to get hit, but don't say like, if you can't go in, don't. It's like, I mean, you have to. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but you can't be 10 inches off the inside. It can't be in the
Yes.
middle of the batter's box. If it's
No,
just
I know.
off in, it's just off in, but it can't be in the middle of the batter's box
I agree.
that many times. Yeah, I think that was about Willie getting hit 15 times. Nothing
That's
to do with me,
insane, dude.
but I got squared up in the kneecap. But I was with 2 strikes and I got on base. It was great.
And you got taken out of the game. You're sitting on your stats. You sick
Sitting on my
dude.
stats early. What a fucking player. And I thought McCutcheon's comments were pretty. You guys see McCutcheon's comments about?
Yeah, I got a question about that. Why does like throwing a first pitch off speed, like why did that get him so mad? Just to get because he settled in, he said?
See, but I'm actually with McCutcheon on that. I agree. If you're going to do something, which the league thinks they did because they suspended Keegan, just to clarify, if you are going to do something, I agree. Like you do it on the first pitch. Like I don't get trying. I think he threw a cutter away and then like 3 fastballs in. Like I like the way McCutcheon phrased it because he said like he has no problem with it, like retaliation kind of thing. But like you do it with the first pitch.
But what's the difference?
What happened to him in the past was somebody went slider. And so like he wasn't ready to get hit. And so he was like in the at bat.
Kind of diving.
Yeah. And then they ran a heater and hit him in the ribs and broke his rib. Because like if you know you're gonna get hit, I was talking about who I was talking to. I was talking about when I got hit by the White Sox on purpose a couple years back, 17, because Lack hit a bunch of dudes by accident, not on purpose, but hit a Brave twice, hit 3 guys in 1 inning. So I was next guy up. The first pitch was 95 and I got out of the way. And then I was like, oh shit, they're trying to hit me. And I was like, okay. So the next pitch, I was ready for it. And I just went like, and it hit me in the ass, but I was ready to get hit. And I get like, if you're in the middle of the at bat, especially right on right or left on left, and you're not ready for it, and then you expose something and get hurt, like nobody wants guys to get hurt that way. So
yeah,
I also have a lot of respect for McCutcheon, so I get where he's coming from.
My biggest takeaway from that, J-Hay came in hot. And J-Hay doesn't ever get mad. He's usually like the mediator.
Wouldn't want to be in front of that man.
He was fired up. He came sprinting. He was the first one there. He came sprinting in from center.
It's
I was in the training room getting x-rays on my kneecap, and it was like I was turned away from the game because I was getting my knee looked at and everyone was running on the field. I was like, well, what's going on?
And you came hobbling out and you fucking threw hands. It was crazy.
It's funny, like I used to be completely on, hey, throw at this guy if he does something, like whatever. But I've been hit in the head and like getting hurt in 19 so many times that I am just so over people throwing at people. Over it.
But that's the other thing. Not saying Keegan did it on purpose, but if he did, it was the perfect spot. You hit him right in the ass cheek. Like that's where if you're a hitter, you're like, oh, like you got me.
That's where you want to get hit.
I've just been, like I said, I've been hit so many times in the last 3 years that I'm like, you know what? Done with it.
You've been a ball magnet.
Yeah, I understand Willie's frustration.
Hey, and one of them was fucking Dakota.
There's a slider that hit you in the shoulder.
You're sick.
It was 79 and hit you in the shoulder.
Hey, it's close to my head.
It was an act. You think I was
could've
happy
killed
about
me.
that? You think I was happy about that? You're a free out, and I just
Dude,
gave you a
fucking
base.
Killed me.
I'm from the
could've
tube. What
fucking
would you like to say,
killed me.
Tom?
We actually got this question on Saturday morning. So before this, I think this was in response to the Mets Nationals bench clearing thing on Friday night. Someone said, Jill, she had a question for Dakota. Basically the question is, what is his role in a bench's clearing? Because he has to come for the bullpen. Is he one of the guys that sprints in? Is he a jogging guy? Do you participate? They wanted to know what kind of your deal is generally in those situations.
Dakota, you better be on the fucking front line if you're 6'8".
We've
Real
cleared.
quick, real quick before you go, I just want the audience,
220.
all of the fans, to know that Tom is doing this episode from a submarine, and that's why he sounds like that. Go ahead, Dakota.
It sounds great. I'm gonna edit it so well. It's gonna sound terrific.
Yeah, you're gonna sound like T-Pain by the time this thing airs. Go ahead.
I've only had benches clear once, and like the bullpen, like you're the last people in there, so it's not like I can be in the front, in the middle. But I'm not a big, like, if I'm not a part of it, like I'm more of just a mediator. Like I don't really, like if I'm not out there and I'm not the one that hit someone and I'm not all fired up, like I can't really like generate anger.
I think I said it last year when we were in a scruffle with the White Sox. And like you said, I've been in one or two before, but not one in the big leagues, obviously. That was like the most eye-opening thing that I've seen in a while. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, there was about 40 people as mad as anybody could ever be, screaming. Nobody can hear a thing. And I look to my right, like 2 feet away from me is fucking Tony La Russa. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like Tony La Russa is right next to me. If
Tony, it's great to meet you, Tony. I'm Zach.
like, if somebody would have said, like, hey, man, guess what? You're going to be in a bench clearing somewhat of a brawl, and Tony La Russa is going to be right next to you. All right,
Imagine if somebody would have told you that in 2005.
That's what I'm like. I'm sorry.
But there's always people, like, I feel like there's guys on each team that have different roles. Like Willie's kind of the hothead that's going to get shit stirring. And then you usually Jay Hay's like the mediator, and then you got like Nico who just doesn't want that. He's like, just end this. Like, I don't want this to happen anymore. And like, there's just everyone, like, you just need the mediators to be good about the hotheads. Like
Everybody has a role to play.
Yes.
I'm the guy in the back. Hey.
Hey, no, fuck you. I said fuck you, not fuck me. Fuck you.
Yeah, brawls.
That's right. I said it, Dakota. That's right.
Yeah, it was me. It's over here.
It's like people are just nuts. You can get like just mollywopped from.
You've seen that shit in minor league games where the guys come running in and throw baseballs. It's not something to like fuck with. Like you don't go in there like just like happy go lucky. Like you could get rocked,
smoked.
You gotta have your head on a swivel. Yeah. I think if we're on offense, I'm keeping my helmet on, making sure I have some protection.
Oh yeah, smart.
What else would you like to talk about from opening weekend? Cubbies had a good series. Cubbies had a really good series. Offense looked great. Starting pitching was fantastic. The really cool for the Cubbies, for all of us that came up as Cubbies, to see on Saturday, 4 homegrown Cubbies pitched and didn't give up a run. Shutout from 4 drafted Cubbies, including friend of the pod, Scott Efros. Scotty Efros fan question of the day. He got one out and it was a punch out, correct?
Yes.
I took a video of Scott when they were doing the intro lineups or like night, your opening day, like they go down the line. He had the dorkiest little smirk on his face when the camera went to him. And I sent it to him and he goes, I was so fucking nervous. I didn't know what to do. I was like, just like waved it, like just give it a nod. He like had a little smirk. It was hilarious.
I saw the video of him. It was like the pitch before he struck Adames out. It was like a 10% strike. And he gave it the old like 2-step off the mound. Ooh, should have been a strike there. I'm like, Scott, you're disgusting. 10%.
Gross.
Come on.
What are you gonna go Tigers? Javi, was that opening day or the day after? The Javi.
Their opening day. And then today, he just hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th to win it. The guy's
He's
a
so
freak.
nasty.
He's for the big moment.
He's so nasty. They're gonna love him there.
Yeah.
How's that, Zach? Give us an update on what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm actually in Des Moines, where Dakota and I should be hanging out, but
That's why Zach's in a bad mood, like Ian said.
yeah, apparently I'm in a bad mood today. This morning before I even woke up, Ian just put me in a blender.
We're in a bad mood.
I was not in a bad mood. And should be seeing Dakota, which is very unfortunate, but we all know Dakota's working hard and getting ready.
Can you tell us about what you're trying to do to get a haircut?
Yeah. You're firing off DMs.
You're DMing barbers in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy move.
I don't think it's that crazy. They have their own shops. I'm sure they're pretty tough. And I say, hey, if we get some guys, would you either come in or could we, come at a different time before you open? But like, it's really not that. It's not that big of a deal.
I literally told you of good barbershops, and you're
No,
like,
you told me
I don't trust them.
Okay. Well,
look at Dakota's cut. Dakota's got a fresh cut going right now.
I did. I went to Boardroom down here in Arizona. And you know what is nice? First of all, haircuts are getting expensive, but this place, like, I did I got pampered. Like, I got like a face massage, a little head massage. They even like massage like your hands and your arms. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Well, no wonder why it's expensive.
It was $45. No, it was $45 for a normal haircut. It was $60 for that, but I had like a coupon from Keegan because he went there before, gave me the coupon, saved me $15.
It's a good friend.
And if you go to like Great Clips nowadays, it's $25, and they might shave your head off. You don't know. $25 is decapitated.
$25 is not expensive for a haircut.
Okay, but would you spend $20 more for a better haircut, especially you?
Yeah, you're
100%.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So what are you yelling at me for?
I'm not getting a massage at my haircut.
It's $45. It was a great haircut, and I got a little massage. It felt great.
Tom's cutting all of us.
They had like this nice music. It was like real, like
calming. No, just cut my hair. Cut my hair and make me look pretty.
Do you talk to the barber?
No, unless I know if I know him, yeah. But I don't really. I like sitting there in silence. And I love getting haircuts. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I try to give them short answers so they know I don't want to talk.
I can't. I'm not going to talk to the barber.
And you don't like talking.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean,
well, come on. Well, I like talking to you guys every week.
I mean, I didn't know you did today. I didn't think you wanted to talk.
You weren't excited to talk about it. That's why.
It's a good point.
It's at 10 in the morning. I mean, come on.
Some other really exciting things from opening weekend. Our guy, friend of the pod, Kyle Schwaba, homer. First Philly batter of the year, homer, leadoff homer. Sick.
Full count.
Absolute laser. Tony Toe Taps, Rizzo, 2 homers, okay, in the first 2 games. And then he had a sick RBI knock. Tom, this is a question for you, okay, from the submarine. Does New York love Tony Riz right now?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, they definitely do. I saw one thing that was really cool. People were talking about is I forget the Yankee reliever. They had a couple guys who were making their major league debuts, and one of them pitched Saturday. And I think
Ron Maracino.
Yes, I honestly I knew his name, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, and I didn't want to butcher it. So he made his debut, and I think he started with 5 straight balls, and the catcher came out to the mound, and then Rizzo came over, kind of gave him a couple words, responded, I think, with 2 Ks in the inning, or got out of it. People were like, look at the Rizzo impact. This is why you do it. A little bit of leadership out of that guy like that. Calm down the guy in his major league debut.
I'll tell you who else gives a mound visit if you're struggling. His name's Zach Short. He tells you an inappropriate joke that I cannot say on air. But it calms you down every time.
Good. Not anymore though. Now we got the count
mound visit rule.
Mound visits, yeah. I don't really like to waste them.
I'd rather hear from you telling me a joke than have the catcher come out and be like, throw strikes. I'm like, oh, really? I'm going to try that now. I didn't think to do that yet, but now I'm going to throw strikes. Thanks, man. See you later.
Hey, Ron's pitching right now.
I did see from John Boy that he feels like the Yanks are a whole new team this year.
But different
from the 2021 Yanks.
Isn't the rumor, this could have been false. I thought I saw this on Twitter. Isn't the rumor that he told Judge not to take that deal?
That Tony told Judge not to take that deal?
I thought I saw that on Twitter. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought I heard something that said like Rizzo told Judge there's no loyalty in this game, like test free agency and get your money.
I saw that too.
I think he did a press conference the day after, or right after they announced that Aaron Judge wasn't signing. And they said, like, what do you talk to Judge about? and that was one line from it that I think a lot of people probably took out of
Yes.
context. I don't think Rizzo told him not to sign. I think he just provided the context of like, hey, look at Freddie Freeman. Like even guys who have been there for a decade necessarily don't get treated well. And obviously, I think Riz has his own background he can look into as well. But I don't think he told him not to sign. I think
he just gave him like his experience and like said, do with it what you will. Yeah, that's what I didn't mean. Like he said, don't take it. Like go to free agency. He was just like, hey, like this is what happens, man. Like do what you think's best.
Yeah,
he's gonna get paid either way.
I mean, he's gonna get.
Speaking of extensions,
$350.
But he was gonna make 30.5 a year.
I think he's worth more.
Whoa, really? I don't
and
say
you got it.
that
How
thing
accurate are those things? And
you what?
I don't know. Did the Yankees come out and say this is exactly what we offered him?
Cashman, I think Cashman literally said that. He literally said this is what we offered him. He said
would have been the highest Yankees player ever.
He can still resign.
Yeah,
He can still resign.
He's in the driver's seat.
Good for him. Hope he goes out and wins the MVP. Except for Tony Toe Taps, who is the front runner for the MVP.
Or Zach Short when he gets to the show.
Good point. And friend of the pod, future rookie of the year, Torkelson.
And other friend of the pod, Robbie Grossman.
and Josh Johnson.
A lot of friends in the AL.
And Josh
Donaldson.
And Josh Donaldson.
We're cool. We have a lot of friends.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, 8 for 70.
Go right ahead.
Good for him.
That's like people like that's similar like the Ozzy Albies deal, and people are like, why would they take it? So like some people will say like, wait,
It's not similar to Ozzy Albies deal. Ozzy Albies signed for $35 million.
Oh, that was it.
8 for 35.
Ooh, okay, never mind. Way different. Double the price.
If you're complaining as a fan, I dare you to say no to somebody like that if they come up to you and say, hey man, it's right here.
That's what, and people will say like, oh, you're not betting on yourself. I'm like, what? Like I'm making $9 million a year. Sure. No, like that's more money than you could ever need.
Yeah, I think it's one of those deals that it's right now, both sides. It's like, yeah, that's not bad. It could go horribly for the Pirates, or it could go horribly for Ke'Bryan Hayes. It could go either way where that guy's a good baseball player. He's a great defender. He's a really good hitter. He could put up all-star level production for the next 8 years and left a ton of money on the table, or he could have a couple down years or injuries that are unforeseen. I think locking that money in for him, good for him. Awesome.
Ian, 2 years ago, they offer you that deal. Are you saying what color ink?
Yeah, I think like those numbers, when you get up into that range, it's like, how do you not? That's life-changing money. I think that that's why you see what the White Sox have been able to do with their young guys, offering Eloy and Luis Robert and some of those dudes, 50 plus to start their careers. It's like, how do
you never know with like injuries, like say someone blows an ACL or whatever, like say you have an injury that like affects the way you play and like you're just never the same player. It's like, you're not getting a contract worth that much ever again. Like take your money.
Yeah, 100%. What do you got, Tom?
I was going to say a lot of people obviously were against the deal on Twitter saying, how would you take it, whatever. You guys made all the good points. Another point on the other side of that as well is you look at Scott Kingery. He's a guy, before he played a major league game, signed 6 for 24. Now this year, he's not even on the Phillies 40 man. He's in AAA making, $4.5, $5 million, whatever. People thought that was a terrible deal for him at the time. Now I'm sure obviously he's glad 4 years later that he took that deal because he's looking, his life significantly better for doing it. So there are plenty of opportunities of guys. Now Ke'Bryan has more major league experience than Kingery did at the time, but still there's plenty of guys who could go the other way as well. Yeah,
there's guys on both ends of the spectrum. There's dudes that sign early deals like Ozzy Albies who will totally outperform it. Acuna will totally outperform his. Riz outperformed his. But, it's the other thing is how much does that financial security let you go and play baseball and not worry about the other stuff? I think there's real arguments to both sides of it. And it is a much different game than it was 10 years ago because signing that early deal doesn't necessarily mean that the team will treat you the right way on the back end for doing that. There's a lot of examples early, before where guys would sign that early deal, get their first money, and then when they were, that thing was up at 29-30, the team would re-up them and make sure that they were on the club for life, which is not so much the case anymore. Let's move on.
I was gonna switch topics. I got a little one, different one. What do you guys got on the mic'd up during the games?
I thought it was cool, but really weird.
Before we get into the mic up before the games, did you know that those mics ups, they're not actually, but what if they were brought to you by Roman?
That'd be crazy.
Like Get Roman?
Like
Get Roman.
GetRoman.com/compound. And if you're prescribed, you get 15% off your first month of ED treatment. Do you know that?
I do now. I'm glad.
And Ian, you know what the keyword is? Discreet. Roman's system is completely confidential and totally discreet. No big logos or labels on the packages. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is, remember that word? What was it? Discreet, straightforward, and convenient. Go to getroman.com/compound. That's getroman.com/compound.
The truth is that ED is really common. In fact, 52% of guys age 40 to 70 experience some form of erectile dysfunction. And you can go to getroman.com/compound now to speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction and get 15% off your first month of treatment. When the moment of intimacy arrives, you need to be ready, Roman ready. I want to be Roman ready when we're in the hot mic in the game.
Do you see that they're like nominating people for it too? It's like the chain.
I saw that. That was pretty cool. It would be really cool. I don't want to put this out there, but like, how cool would you feel if like Joey Votto was running off the field and nominating you to be the next mic'd up guy?
Yeah.
Or nominating you to get Roman.com/compound.